crowd. That's better than the Vegas one. We're here today with the second and third place finishers, Todd Gilliland and Harrison Burton, in the what's the race? Alpha Energy Solutions 250. And I'm not with the second and third place finishers right now. If they come in while you're doing it, I might have to interrupt you just to give them shit.
Okay. Well, thanks for warning me.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our first media availability here at Martinsville Speedway. In advance of the Alpha Energy Solutions 250, we are joined by driver Noah Gragson, driver of the number 18 Safe Flight Toyota. Noah, you were just here last October. You were actually the race winner. Could you talk a little bit about what it's like to be back here at Martinsville and what you plan to do to approach this weekend?
Yeah, it's a privilege to be able to come back here and race again. I was fortunate last year to be able to win the fall race here in the Truck Series, so ran pretty good here both times and finished fourth in this race last year. So just like I said, very fortunate to get back here and gonna be working with my teammates Todd Gilliland, Harrison Burton this weekend. Felt like we're probably the three best of buddies as teammates, so just being able to work with them and be on the same page is going to be key.
Thank you, Noah. We're going to go ahead and open it up to questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. Okay, we're going to start right here in front.
Jacob Seelman, Speed Sport. So first off, Noah, do you know where your two missing teammates are yet?
Rookie meeting.
Oh, well, they'll get here eventually.
They sent me a Snapchat. We were like 5 minutes away from the track, and Todd sent me a Snapchat, and they're sitting in there. So that sucks.
How much confidence do you come back in here with having won the clock last fall and knowing that you know how to do this now?
I have a lot of confidence in myself, but I'm trying not to, I don't know how to put it, but try not to rely on that and trying to treat this weekend as if I've never been here before, and that I'm going in here and I'm trying to learn all weekend and really focus on executing and knowing what I can do, because I feel like if I come into this weekend and I say, oh, I won here before, I know how to do it, that really doesn't do me any good for a young driver. I mean, maybe Jimmy Johnson or guys who have won here a lot of the time, they can do that, but I don't feel like I can do that. Young driver, just trying to learn as much as I can, and I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I'm just trying to execute all weekend.
Noah Barry, Richmond, WAKG, Piedmont Broadcasting Corporation. Coming into 2018, talk about starting the season with maybe a more full schedule on the front end as compared to years past. How is that with regard to getting the season off to a good start and maintaining, I guess, a flow, as it were, versus having that big gap like we've seen over the last couple of years?
I think there's two things. One for the whole series and then one for me. So the first thing, hey, you guys made it. Sorry. Nice of you guys to show up. We're about done here. No, I'm just kidding. But going back to your question, sorry. Two clowns showed up.
Oh yeah. One was already here.
So So the first thing is for the series, I feel like we used to go from Daytona to Atlanta and then have 4 weeks off, and I mean, I only got to do it last year, so it wasn't like it was a huge deal to me, but I wanted to be in the race car on those 3 or 4 off weeks, and so it kind of shortened up that time in between the big breaks. I know we have a long break. I'm racing after this race. I'm racing a couple other series, but Also, for me, this year it's a little different in 2018 because I'm living in North Carolina now, in Huntersville, and I can be with the team, and I can manage my time a little bit better. And it felt like longer last year because I was living in Las Vegas, still doing high school, so that took up a little bit of my time, but I couldn't be with the team during the long break and couldn't be learning this whole time. So 2018, it's a lot better for me. I feel like I'm managing my time better, living on the East Coast and being able to go to the shop and talk to my crew chief Rudy and go to TRD and do some sim and just practice and learn. So I think that's the biggest thing, and I feel like it's been not that long since we've been out on the track in Las Vegas.
We had a great entrance by Harrison Burton, driver of the number 18 DEX Imaging Toyota, and Todd Gilliland, driver of the number 4 Mobile One Toyota.
Caleb Whistler kicking the tires. How much does all your grassroots efforts racing at like South Boston, etc., apply to here at Martinsville?
You won.
Yeah. I think, racing short tracks all the time, it's definitely a bit of an advantage, I guess, because you're used to kind of the short track racing is a different, it's a different whole nother ball game, right? There's a whole nother level of intensity and a whole nother kind of feeling behind it. You're going to get hit. You're going to have to hit someone at some point. So there's going to be a different mindset and going into that. So being in the rhythm of that, I think definitely helps. And just having experience on short tracks racing guys like this, and Noah's on Snapchat, but they're normally hard to beat. So I think that us having short track experience definitely helps.
Go ahead, Chris Knight.
Okay, ChrisKnightGettrans.com for Noah. How important is it to win your second career Truck Series race to prove that the first win wasn't a fluke? And also, each race that you've participated in 2018, you've led a lap. How important is that stat to continue that as the season progresses?
Well, I think it'll be good. Hopefully that race win can come this weekend. I haven't done it yet, so I can't say that I've done it, and can't say what it's going to be like, but hopefully I can dominate a little more this weekend. I know there's a lot of guys that are going to be gunning for each other out there on the racetrack, and it's so close these days. You can't get away from each other. Where before you might come here with a really good package. Now you got 10 guys who have a really good package, and everything's so close. So I know we should be in the hunt this weekend. Been working with Harrison and Todd throughout this past week on just talking to each other about the line around this place and how we can. We were all three in the top 5 last year at Martinsville. So just working together, working hard. Hopefully that'll help my confidence getting my second career win this weekend.
We'll go here in the front.
What? Do what? I've led a lap in every race so far this year. Oh, that's really big. It shows that we have the speed. We just need to execute a little bit better. Felt like I made a driver mistake on my part at Daytona. Atlanta, we capitalized on a mistake with our team, and then just had a tire problem at Vegas that took me out of contention. But we've been up front pretty much every race. We won 2 stages this year, the first stage at Atlanta and the first stage at Vegas. So just got to keep on working hard, keep on focusing on what needs to be done, and hopefully it all works out.
Okay, we're going to go here to the gentleman in the second row.
Jacob Thielman, Speed Sport, since the other 2 clowns weren't in here the first time. This is for all 3 of you because the grand entrance just shows off the dynamic between the 3 of you. All 3 of you are young guys. All 3 of you are hungry, and all 3 of you get along really, really well. What's the dynamic like on a weekend like this when all 3 of you are buds off the track, but you're trying to hopefully not necessarily knock each other out of the way to win the race, but you all want to win the race?
I think that's been something that's very special, just growing up with everyone, Us 3 have raced against each other for a long time, and like you said, we're all very competitive. Me and Harrison race hard, and
Smyrna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we're just out here doing our best, and I think it helps to have teammates that you get along with. You can communicate information a little bit better, a little bit easier. So, I think everything's just going to flow together this season, and I think we're going to have some fast trucks.
Either of the other two have anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we all joke around, mess around off the track, but then when it's time to be serious and it's time to get to crunch time and put our racing hats on, I think we all are like a light switch. We flip very easily. So on the racetrack, I think we all three want to be in a KBM top 3 finish, 1, 2, 3, and then if we all are 1, 2, 3, then we're going to be battling hard. But I think together, collectively, we all want the best for the organization of Kyle Busch Motorsports, and we all know we have fast Toyota Tundras, so now it's just working together until we get to the front, and then it's game on.
Barry Ridgman, Piedmont Broadcasting, WAKG. This one, questions for Harrison, and I think this is a follow-up from a conversation we had last year. But this year, I know you were restricted at certain tracks that you couldn't run. So talk about this season, and then has that changed to where you'll be making first-time stops at tracks you didn't last year?
So that changes October. So I kind of get the last 4 races of the year. At KVM, so I'm still kind of on a part-time schedule, jumping around and in the races that I can be in, and there's other guys in mile and a halves and stuff like that. So it's a balance, in between. I want to move up, but I got to learn too. So I got time, and I'm taking that time and learning as much as I can. I'll make my first mile and a half starts in ARCA cars and stuff like that this year, and I'll also be running. I'll run Texas and Homestead at the end of the year. So those will be fun in the truck series, and hopefully we can go out and run good. It's a different ballgame. Like I said, short tracks, mile and a half, all that's so different. So it's a big learning curve, but I'm ready for it.
Okay, we'll go in the back to Caleb and wrap it up with Chris.
Caleb Whistler kicking the tires. Todd, you can now race full-time on the track series schedule. What has been the anticipation for this day to be run full-time?
Last night I couldn't sleep, man. I was so excited. It was tough to go watch the first 3 races, but I think that's something that we needed to do. Spend more time with the team, try and make up for as much time that we lost together. That these guys have been working together. So we just need to keep up that relationship. I think everything's been really smooth so far, but we'll see. Luckily, we have a lot of practice today, and we can kind of move at our own pace this first week, and then come tomorrow it's go time. So yeah, it's been really tough though to watch someone else get in your truck for sure.
Todd, you'll stop and go before you go for the rest of the season. How hard is that to get in a truck and then get out of the truck and then get in the truck going forward, not only here at Martinsville, but I think you'll do that at Dover before?
It's hard to get in and out because he's super tall. It's tough.
Yeah, it was even hard from New Smyrna to now. I had to go all off season to build up to New Smyrna, and then only race 1 race and then wait another month. So it's been hard, like I said, but just spending a lot of time at the shop and a lot of time in the simulator, just trying to make up for lost time, kind of like I'm not missing anything at all. So that's what we're hoping for, and I wish I could keep racing, but soon enough we'll be racing every week.
Well, thank you for joining us, gentlemen, and good luck with the race this weekend.